I did like a little bit of, I think, like possible time travel where like yesterday I had to get gas, and then I went in and I wanted to pay, but I always like end up buying like something, and so I bought like one of like the giant like monsters that like you like take it off and it's like a nuclear reactor, like when you open it the first time.
Twist open, yeah.
So
it feels like the Ninja Turtles ooze. It's like
yeah, and there's like
it's
smoke
like all
coming out.
steamy.
And,
Yeah,
like,
no, it's super badass.
There's no way like right before you drink that you're like, this is okay.
Like
this is all right.
This is gonna kill me.
Right.
But they're so good. The imported, right? The Monster imported.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love those.
I bought one of those like, and I'm just gonna like leave this in my car, and like one day I'll need it, and then last night for like whatever reason, like I just like couldn't go to bed because I was
gonna
like,
say it was the SpongeBob like 10 minutes later.
Right. And like last night I went to bed and like for whatever reason I had one of those nights where like my brain just decided to like contemplate the cosmos for like 4 hours, and so like I'm like today I'm running on like 4 hours of sleep, but I had my monster today. But the main point of all this is when I was drinking this morning, I was like, you know, if anyone ever claims that like monsters like kill people, Anton is proof that they do not.
Yeah,
because he is still alive.
I'm still kicking.
Well,
dude.
I actually found a website and it tells you exactly how much of a item you have to eat or drink to kill you.
Death by caffeine.
Based on death by caffeine.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting, and it was something like 480 cans of Rockstar, and I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. So gross.
Oh man.
I was gonna say about those nights that you stay awake and ponder the cosmos. Those piss me off the most because, like, while I'm thinking through things, I'm like, "Oh, this is so cool," and I'm so interested. But fuck you! It's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Why now? Why can't I think about this shit during the day?
Yeah, the thing that also came to mind while I was like not able to sleep was, have you guys seen Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story?
Oh yeah.
When
Walk
like toward the beginning, he's like, Dewey Cox has to. What does he say? He's like, he has to like think about his entire life before he goes on stage.
Yeah.
I was just like, Ryan has to contemplate his entire life
He's
before
like
he falls asleep.
It's like leaning against the wall.
Yeah, because that's basically like what it was. I was like just like destroying like everything and overthinking basically my entire life before I fell asleep for no reason.
Yeah.
Right. That's another thing I saw on Reddit today. It was that thing that said, "Hey, insomniacs, the good news is only 3 more sleeps until Christmas."
Dude, what I hate is when you get like oddly motivated at night, like you're like falling asleep and you're like thinking about it and you're like, oh man, dude, tomorrow I've got to take care of everything. I'm gonna go to work and like I'm gonna get caught up on all those projects, and then I'm gonna like start cleaning the house because I totally got to do it. And you wake up the next day and you're like, fuck all that. I'm not gonna do any of that shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that morning me hates night me. Like they just don't get along. They're not friends.
Well, normally like nighttime Ryan screws over morning Ryan's on the weekend. Or every once in a while during the week, because I'll just be like, I'm just gonna have a drink, and then like five minutes later, it's like shots. Yeah, and then I'm just like, I get like 3 hours of sleep. I'm like slightly hungover, and I'm just like, fuck. Thanks, Night Ryan.
Thanks, Night Ryan. You made the poorest decisions.
Yeah, because Night Ryan was just like, you know who can deal with this? Morning Ryan.
That morning Ryan is a lot stronger than you give him credit for. He's fine. He'll be all right.
I'm pretty sure I bought him a monster today. He'll be okay.
Right.
I just see you taking shots, like listening to the Nightman song on repeat.
Oh my god,
Nightman.
Oh my gosh.
And friendship for everyone.
God damn
that
it.
freaking show. And then the best part of that is when they went around the country and did the stage play, like the actual actors. That's so badass. Oh. If Always Sunny in Philadelphia wants to sponsor the podcast, Anton will talk to you about how that needs to happen.
We would love that. We'll even get like a yellow backdrop. It'll be perfect.
Also, because it's seasonal, if Yoga Pants and Uggs wants to sponsor us.
Right.
Absolutely.
I'd be fine getting sponsored by Yoga Pants. I support that. And they support me, if you catch my drift.
They lift and separate.
Lift and separate. The separation is actually important. It might be the most important part of the process.
I think you're right.
Keeps me dry and aired out.
This is a 1 week anniversary of like 10 years ago Lost premiered.
Oh.
So that's a thing that's happening.
So
Cool.
I actually, even now, with it being over and having gone through a really shitty, rocky few seasons, I'm a Lost defender. I really like that show.
I love Lost.
I won't defend the finale or season 3, but I'll defend the rest of it.
You see, and I have to defend the finale just because I have to retweet because it makes me cry every time.
No, it
every time.
Repost if you cry every time.
And I do. I cry every time.
I've never been so confused and sad at the same time.
Right.
Is the ending.
It's like, wait, everyone's dead and they've been dead the whole time or most of the time? I don't know, but I'm sad and my feelings.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, yeah, exactly. So I think
also,
here's the thing. We need to set up a statute of limitations for spoiler alerts because it's like if I tell you right now at the end of Ghostbusters what happens, is that still a spoiler?
No.
Or should you just have watched it by now?
I think just moving forward, we should say that a year. Like if it's been released in the last year, then we won't spoilerize something.
Okay.
But beyond
Sounds
that,
good.
I mean, you got to stay current. Come on. You
Yeah.
can't be. Don't listen to a technology and pop culture podcast if you don't want spoilers. That's just how it works.
Right.
So.
in other news, the new BlackBerry Passport has actual keys on it. So,
like
that-
physical keys?
yeah, physical keys.
And it's called the Passport?
Yeah, it is like pretty much literally the exact size as a passport, which means it's kind of square.
Right.
But I kind of dig it. If I would maybe
wow.
get it if it wasn't $600 out of contract. But
No, that straight up is very square. That's unbelievable. That's
But,
kind of crazy looking, but it looks good.
yeah, the specs are pretty decent, and I guess like hardware wise, like it's pretty good like quality,
Yeah.
and it has actual keys.
Yeah. Whoa, 453 pixels per inch? I think I've got like a half chub.
It's pretty cool.
That's an erection joke.
God damn it. I don't know. So
Yeah, that's kind of weird looking, but I could get behind it.
Yeah.
this is sort of off topic, but I've pretty much decided that my next phone is going to be the Sony Xperia Z3. That's where it's at for me.
Ooh.
Which I don't know if you've looked at it, but it's
I have.
It's probably the only Android phone coming out this quarter that looks somewhat good. So I've been doing a lot of research, and I'm disappointed in both the Galaxy Alpha and the Moto X because they're not releasing it for Sprint. So
Yeah, that'll do it every time.
I weep every time.
Every time.
Every
Retweet.
time.
Retweet that shit.
But,
no, I actually really like it's super clean. It
Oh,
looks
it's pretty
really,
small.
like,
Nice.
minimal and just.
That's good.
I mean, it'll get the job done. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The one that I was looking at, and it actually almost swayed me away from HTC, was the LG G3.
Oh yeah,
That's a pretty nice looking phone. Like, it's
Very
pretty
nice.
slick. I like it. I'm still glad I stuck with HTC, but right now my dad is actually looking to get a new smartphone because he's still rocking an iPhone 3G. Yeah. So it just like doesn't even run anymore with all the iOS updates.
Yeah,
that
if you
use
never
all of the
upgrade it,
memory.
it'll work fine. But
Right,
But
right.
if he
So it's-
upgrades, he can get the new bending feature.
yeah, it'll bend in your pocket automatically.
No, it's so funny because there's this girl at work. She's actually my manager, and she right now is trying to decide whether she wants the Plus or the normal iPhone 6, right?
Normal.
And I was just kind of like, listen, there's all these issues, problems, they're not innovating. That being said, I will help you decide which of the two is the best, right? So I go into her this morning and I'm like, hey, so did you read all the reports about how the iPhone Plus is bending like super bad? And she's like, listen, John, I get it. You're all about Android, and I don't want Android. Get over it. And I'm like, I was just saying to get the smaller one. Like, it doesn't bend in half like a freaking waffle in your pocket.
Jesus, dude. What a
And then-
critical oversight. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should between phones talk about what really matters. And I did watch Will It Blend, and both of the Note 3 and the Plus both blend.
I
so
love that
it's
the
really
iPhone-
it's high.
I love that the iPhone blended into white powder and the and the Note blended into black powder. It was great.
Yeah, both of them like split in half. It's just the Android did it first because it's like plastic and not sort of like unibody.
It actually,
But
the
it's awesome.
iPhone did survive for quite a while. Like, it kept bouncing off the blades,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Is it not gonna blend?" I'll
it's
be
like-
so surprised.
Everything's always blended.
Everything's
What the
always
hell?
blended.
Right.
This destroys
And
my
you
entire.
know the guy running the blender is like kind of shitting his pants
It's like,
a little
oh my
bit
God.
Oh,
every
Funko
time
Pop?
it bounces.
Can you imagine
like,
how stoked Apple would be if it didn't blend? They'd be like, look at that! Look at that! They would use it in their advertising. They would rub it in everyone's face. It doesn't blend! You tried to blend it, it doesn't blend!
I think,
innovation. Anti-blend innovation.
I think like HTC or like someone that's all they need to focus on their next phone is just making a like non-blendable phone.
Right.
Like, have you read the reports? So many of our users are losing their phones in blenders.
Right.
That's
and
like,
they'll just like come
honestly, as much as I love HTC, it should definitely be Samsung. Like, they have all of the tech that's like waterproof, dust proof. It's like blend proof.
Yeah.
Blend proof bitches. Like, go ahead and throw this in your blender and you just... What?
It sounded like you said dust poop.
Dust poop.
Dust poop.
Petrified dust poop.
Oh, man.
This duty.
Anyways,
but yeah, I'm so sick of iPhone news, and it's like, once again, Reddit summed it up perfectly when someone was like, they just made a pie chart, and it was what Apple users think when they hear about the iPhone bending, and it was like the smallest sliver was I'm switching to Android, and then the rest of the graph was I'll wait for iPhone 7.
Yeah, they'll fix
like,
that with the
that's
iPhone
exactly
6S.
what they think. Like,
I saw another one that I felt explained it pretty well was new phones are basically just like college textbooks. They're just new ones you have to buy with a slight update.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That's really what they are. And I fall for it every damn time. Every damn time.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why, and I know we already talked about this, so we do not need to go back over it, but I really like the idea that was being bandied around for a while is making the modular phones where, like, you pick what components you want.
That would be
someone
awesome.
like me, it's like, let's not even put a camera on it. I never take pictures with my phone. Like, I just never have been that type of person, so give me more memory or a faster processor or a bigger battery or something like that. And I think that would be awesome.
That
if a
would be
company
sweet.
could do that and make it viable, it would be the best solution for everyone.
And you make so much money. Imagine how much money you can make off selling those interchangeable parts. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you'd buy a phone and
Well,
you could just
and-
be assumed you'd be buying like the extra battery component, and you could mark up the camera components. Who knows how much?
Well, and what's great about it, too, is upgrades. You know what I mean? Because it's like in a year when they find that they can pack way more RAM into smaller chips, you don't have to buy a new phone. You just buy new RAM, or you just buy a new processor, or you just buy the new battery once yours stops holding a charge.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. It makes so much sense, but...
It'll happen. It's got to come down the pipe eventually.
I hope so.
It will, but like technology is just so focused right now on planned obsolescence that it drives me crazy. Like, it's like, how can we make this so that it lasts exactly as long as the warranty on the box?
Yeah.
And then shatters the next day and is completely useless so that they have to buy the new model. Or the Apple idea of how do we upgrade our firmware in a way that will cripple all old phones?
Mm-hmm. I think what's eventually going to happen is that, hopefully this will happen at some point, is that all these manufacturers will realize that they're always losing money on the hardware, or they're barely breaking even on the hardware. It's always the contracts and the services that end up break them even.
Right.
Maybe they'll see that there's a way they can make money on the hardware, because I would pay more for a phone that I could customize. I've never bought a phone outright.
Oh, so would I.
But I would buy a phone outright if I knew it had the option to be upgraded later, because I knew I'd save money in the long run. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it would be just like people who buy and build PCs, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, you can go to the store and buy a PC, and it will do most of everything you need to do. Or you can build your own, where in a year you upgrade one part, and in 2 years you upgrade 3 other parts. And then it's just like this constant rotating of, I never need to buy a whole new computer. I can just upgrade the individual parts, and I'll stay modern for a long time.
It's the same thing with like classic cars too. They do the same thing where you get like to a certain stage of like sustainability, and then after that it's just like maintenance for like decades. You just like you replace like a headlight, you replace the battery, replace like a starter, but your car is running for like 100 years.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's one thing that totally pisses me off about new cars is it's like they have gone out of their way to make so many individualized systems that are impossible to either service or get to. You know what I mean? Like, someone was complaining about how to change the headlight on a new Volkswagen Bug, you almost have to disassemble the entire front end of the car.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's just like, in the old ones, it's like you reach down in the hood and it's right there.
Yeah, like
You
the
know?
new BMWs don't come with dipsticks anymore.
Right.
What?
We don't trust you. We don't trust you enough to measure your own oil level.
Yeah, computers like supposed to tell you when you need a It's supposed to monitor it and tell you when to take it in, because computer stuff never fails.
Yeah,
Right,
never
computer stuff
ever.
never fails, and it's like for people who change their own oil, they might not do it as often because they can check and see that it's not dirty. Whereas I guarantee all that thing is doing is calculating how long it's been since your last oil change.
Right.
See, that's what I'm really curious about, because my Civic has that. So everything's digital on like the Civic display, and it has like I can hit the button and it'll tell me the oil percentage. You know, it'll be like, oh,
Right.
your oil has 40% life, and I'm so curious sometimes. Like, if I can get a second car and not drive this car for a while, if there's a way that I could see that it's just timed. It's just like it times 3 or 4 months or something.
Right, because it's
I don't
like
know,
your
man.
oil is so degraded after not using it for 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like there's.
Right.
I'm convinced it's just on a timer. I don't think it actually tests it in any way or has any way to
Yeah.
actually measure how much oil use it has. So I follow it. I listen to it. I just do it when it tells me to do it, which is probably the naive way to do it. But it's always longer than what they recommend. They always say every 2,000 miles or something like that, and it ends up being
2
like,
to 3.
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
ends up being
city driving,
like
3.
probably 3,000 to 4,000 miles between changes, according to that thing. And I changed it when it gets like 25%, because that's when the light turns on and it gets mad at me. So
Right,
Just
I don't know. Yeah.
install uptime.exe, see what it's telling you.
okay,
yeah,
Just
yeah.
reboot oil.dll. There you go.
Wow, you guys are nerds. No, and then there's other stuff like, so in my car, since it's got a turbo, even though it's not a big one, you put synthetic oil in it, and supposedly you can go with synthetic oil every like 5,000 miles before you need an oil change. But the way that manufacturers' warranties work is they dictate how long you can go between oil changes, or you void the warranty on the car.
Really?
So it's like
Oh,
if you
shit.
go more than 3,000 miles in between an oil change, it voids your warranty because you're quote unquote not taking care of the car. You know what I mean? And the other thing I was going to say is, even if it's the naive way to do it, Anton, you will never regret changing your oil too much.
That's
That's
true.
true.
Like
Yeah.
that will make your car survive years past the idiots who run dirty oil through their machines. So
And I was actually,
it sucks for the pocketbook, but
no,
Yeah.
and you're right. I mean, total nerd, but I don't know. I never worked on cars. I don't know anything about cars. I couldn't do the first thing to fix a car, but I like taught myself how to change my own oil. I had to do my brake pads. I had to do, I know how to change all the fluids. And it's actually amazing how much money you save when you learn how to do those simple tasks on your own. And I know it doesn't look as good, because if you have like the record of going and getting your oil changed and you can like prove that, it increases the value of the car. But I don't know if it increases the value of the car enough to offset, the fact that I save 50% by changing my own oil and not paying some grease monkey to do it.
well, and that's the other thing is like on a long enough, and I know that this is just a whatever stupid statement because it's true about everything, but on a long enough timeline, the more money that you'll make selling a car if you've owned the car for 10 years is totally negligible. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
people aren't willing to spend way more on a car just because you got regular oil changes, like maybe a couple $100.
Yeah, I mean, it'll affect the trade-in value. And that's what really matters these days. I mean, trade-in value is so much more important than resale value. So
Right, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Positively.
Confirmed.
Ah, I feel like we really...
Oil changes confirmed for Smash.
Oil changes confirmed.
Oh, speaking of, that's actually a good segue. Let's talk about that Elio car. Did you guys look that up?
I saw the picture. That's all I got.
It's hideous, is it not?
What is this now?
Yeah, it's pretty hideous.
Okay,
it's not the
so
worst
there's
I've
this-
seen.
Right. There's this new car coming out. It's coming to market next year. It's called the Elio, E-L-I-O. It's a 2-seater, but it's front and back, not side by side. It looks like a, what are they called? Polaris Spider?
Oh, never mind.
Oh, no.
Where it's like 2 wheels in the front and 1 wheel in the back. Yeah, but Anton, look at the MPG.
What? Oh, damn it.
I think it's like
Oh, it's like 80 It's like 80 miles to the gallon.
80 something highway
Yeah.
and then like 50 something city, right? And the car will sell for $6,800.
Dude,
Oh,
if I'm going to
maybe
be in
I
something
would.
like that, I'm just going to get a bike. Because it's already
Yeah.
so small that you're losing the safety of having a car around you. So
Well, they're actually talking about, like, they're making some claims that it's actually really safe, that it's like got a reinforced roll cage and airbags everywhere and everything like that. I mean, I'll wait until I see the crash test safety data
Yeah, exactly.
to know exactly how safe it is.
It looks like
but
one
they're
of those-
saying that it's just as safe as a normal car.
John, I will buy one just so we can ride around town and quote Battle of Hoth in it.
Dude, that would be the best. Oh my gosh. Like, oh, I would literally, I would buy a freaking X-Wing pilot uniform just to wear in that thing. Oh, man.
We can just, like, hook a really long rope and then just detach the tow cable and just, like, trip people on the streets.
Dude, that would be the best, is if we had a real rope and we were tripping people on the streets.
Oh man, have you seen that video where the guys make the invisible rope? Like they stand on either side of the street.
Oh yeah,
and they like pretend to pull a rope.
Oh, and people stop.
People stop.
Like,
what the fuck's going on? I don't know.
Right, exactly.
I love that shit.
Oh man.
Oh man, those are the kind of pranks I like to see. I hate this trend of people doing like really violent pranks on YouTube, like, we're gonna go hit this guy in the back of the head, but then we'll tell him it's a prank for YouTube, so it'll be okay. It's like, you idiot.
It's like the old YouTube video. You just got kicked in the nuts.
Yeah.
my friend, you've just been kicked in the nuts. So the thing I kind of don't like about this, the only thing I don't like about this car is there's nothing for the rear passenger to do. Like you can't like drop bombs. You can't.
No. There's not a turret. There's no mounted gun.
There's nothing. It's useless.
Right. There's not even like. You can't even call him the navigator because there's no like GPS screen. I think anything back there.
I think the only way to make it fun is what you do is you install a night vision camera on the front, put the screen on the rear of the first driver's seat. You drive at night, turn the headlights off, and the rear passenger has to tell you where to go.
Awesome.
That would actually be awesome.
They should totally cover the rear passenger, just like the bubble dome on top, so they can like R2D2 it, like stick their head up.
Oh,
that would be the awesome. Is they need to make the back seat totally 360 capable.
Yeah.
So they can like spin around. That would be the greatest.
Shoot your windshield wiper fluid on the car behind.
Yeah, something like that. Put a super soaker in it.
Don't get cocky.
Oh man.
I got another one. Oh my gosh, Star Wars is so good. Let's be honest. Oh, I was going to say pranks. There was a kid around here. So there is this one street in American Fork that's just infamous because it's just like the dumbest shortcut ever. Like it's this tiny little, you can either go up a hill and then down the hill or take this little shortcut that goes to the exact same road. And the entire road is maybe 50 yards long. Like it's super tiny, but it's really wooded on both sides of the road. So this dude buys a Bigfoot costume and he stands like halfway into the trees, and then when headlights hit him, he walks all the way into the trees.
Oh,
and he was like, people were slamming on their brakes, reversing the hell out of there, like just not doing it.
That's amazing.
So the Elio, final thoughts, it's really ugly.
Yeah.
But it's super cheap and gets really good gas mileage, and I think that's cool.
Yeah.
And you can toss groceries in the back. And if it rains, you're not soaked.
Here's the real question. This is all I really care about, and no specifics. This is just the easiest way to ask the question.
Could you have sex in it?
That's a more important question. I like where you're going with this. I was going to say, can you fit a
body
in it?
Well, I know you can lay the back seat down and it becomes additional trunk space, so take that as you will.
Well, so could I get a body into it without having to like Weekend at Bernie's it? Like if I was to be disposing of a body with that, would I need to like prop sunglasses on like the person and put them in the back seat, or is there an actual trunk where I could curl them up into like a cannonball style and get them from here to the coast?
Right. Here's the thing. I think you could put a body in it, but it's probably going to require some prep work. There might need to be some disjointing, some sawing.
But removing the limbs is kind of, it's assumed. So.
But the sunglasses and Hawaiian shirt come in the trunk.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right, cool.
For you to put on if you need
It's
them.
actually built in.
If you need to burning it up.
Burning it up.
Po food.
Po food.
Let's please talk po food.
Let's talk.
I can't say
that sounded kind of racist.
Oh no, poor food. Let's talk about poor food. Crockpot. What's going on?
So we're talking about poor food.
Okay, poor food.
This isn't food for poor people. This is food that you should. Well, yeah, you can. It's probably a good idea.
I was like,
have a lot of money.
Strictly, technically, this is food for poor people.
But PC wise, this is like food for like college kids.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to be mean and say this is for poor people.
Right.
Because they should have food stamps.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to do this. Anyway.
So, my answer to cheap food is the crock pot. Like, my crock pot is my best friend's. I make pretty much everything in my crock pot. So, you can get... You want to talk about cheap. That's how you do, like, good food on the cheap. For show.
You just throw some Cinnamon Toast Crunch, some apples... and
No,
some
dude,
bread.
you can put anything
are
in there,
good.
dude. Oh my god, this is so easy. Like, sometimes just go and get like a bunch of frozen chicken breasts and throw it in a crock pot with like a bunch of salsa, and just cook that shit for like 10 fucking hours. And you take it out, you got like so much shredded chicken. You know what you can do with shredded chicken, man? You can make tacos, you can make burritos, you can make salads. Like, you can do all kinds of shit. Oh man, it sounds lame, but seriously, there are so many things you can do.
Right.
I'm like,
Literally what you're saying right now is, hey, there's still some good meat on that.
yeah, exactly.
pot.
Yeah. And now you're making a stew, baby. You got a
The
stew
fact that you're
going.
cutting in and out makes your passion for this that much more funny.
Oh, why am I cutting? Hold on, let me hardwire here. Hold on.
Are you downloading half the internet right now while you're trying to do a podcast? 'Cause
Probably.
that could be it.
Dude, it's prime time on
Did you
Wednesday.
turn off your porn torrents? Did you
Wait.
turn off your porn torrents?
Let me justify here. Okay, I'm turning off my wireless, so I'm probably gonna disconnect, but I hardwired. So, am I still here? Nope.
Sort of like college, low income
Yeah, there we
food.
go.
I did a lot of ramen.
Oh yeah.
And then I also bought a lot of like frozen canned vegetables and
Yeah.
like rice because
Dude,
rice is cheap.
Ultimate poor food.
Brown rice.
Oh well,
if
right.
possible. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're buying poor food, it's not possible because the stores that you go to buy poor food don't carry brown rice.
Right.
That's true. Yeah,
Right.
totally.
It's like the giant bags of super enriched white rice. No, and I'm totally down with the ramen. And I started doing it where I would buy like the big bottle of soy sauce. I think I might have already shared this. You cook the ramen in the water to where the noodles get soft, drain it, throw away the seasoning packet. You don't need it. Little
What?
bit of butter or cooking oil or whatever in the bottom of a frying pan. Throw the noodles in, crack an egg in there, soy sauce.
Sounds so bad.
Good. Dude, it's so good. Well, you could put your fucking shredded chicken in it then, Anton.
Yeah, see, there you go. Fuck you.
I do want to point out to our listeners, though, if you are going to live only on ramen, that is like the one and only time in your life that you pretty much do have to take multivitamins.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not getting any minerals, any vitamins whatsoever. You're getting
Like
just
ramen's
carbs.
not bad for you, but you're not getting the things that keep you alive.
Yeah.
From
Well, actually,
Get plenty
if
of
you're
salt.
eating it with the salt packet, it is bad for you.
It is a
I
lot
was
of
gonna say,
sodium.
I survived off of like chunky soups because like different stores would always just have like 10 for 10 chunky soups, right? So I'd go and get them. And those things are so full of sodium that like you literally feel your body becoming embalmed. Like I could have been a zombie. If I would have died, I just wouldn't have decayed.
Well, the thing that I don't advocate with soups is, yeah, there's like so much sodium, and like you're hungry like 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the,
It's just
it's like the
passes right
MSG.
through you.
Yeah. So my
You just shit it right out.
ultimate poor food, like when I'm at the end of a paycheck and I've got no money for like any fresh food whatsoever, is I make my favorite thing that I like to call pasta bean rice. And what I'll do is I'll make pasta beans and rice, and then I'll eat that with whatever sauce is available. And it's actually pretty incredible the kind of combinations you can get. Like, it sounds terrible, but barbecue sauce on pasta, beans, and rice sounds bad. Really good.
So wait, let's get into the specifics here. Like
Mm-hmm.
now, do you go like linguine, some angel hair? Like walk us through it.
Okay, so what I'll do, I'll start with the rice.
Do you
Like,
go pinto black? What's up?
well, no, you gotta go black. I mean,
Refried.
I've already.
Refried.
Look, here's the
What
thing.
about refried? Tell me about refried.
Here's the thing. I've already gone to black beans, so now I can't go back. It's
Okay.
like, it's.
You can't
That's
go
where
back
that came
beans.
from.
That's where that came from. Everybody thinks it's a racial thing, but it's not. It has to do with black beans because they're the best beans, although closely followed by pinto beans. But yeah, you just you make rice, like you boil it. You do it the old-fashioned way, not in a goddamn rice maker, like some sort of rich asshole. That's all I'm saying. You make it the old-fashioned way with a pot, but you put way too much water in. Like you do like 3 times the amount of water you actually need. And then like you cook that for like 40 minutes, and then at the end you toss in like a shit ton of pasta, and it's like whatever you got left. Like I'll get angel hair and like break it up like small, or I'll just get like I like the tubes. I don't know what those ones are called. Penne, right? I'll get like penne. That's great.
Well,
And you toss that in.
Hey, be very careful because
Pen-
penne
penne.
is the noodle.
Penne.
Penne is a
Penne.
penis.
Oh, So I'll throw my dick in it. And so once my dick and my rice have like fully cooked and are, the perfect al dente, then what I'll do is dump in the beans, right? And like beans don't gotta cook them, like they're in a can. I mean, I don't make beans from scratch. I'm sorry. Like dried beans take like overnight to cook. Fuck that. So get a can of beans.
We're talking poor food here, not rich people food.
Yeah,
we don't have time to cook beans overnight.
Yeah, this is for people who don't have money or time.
Exactly. Right. This is like an hour. It's like an hour. I mean, it does take a while. You got to cook the rice. I mean, but I guess you could get like one of those like Uncle Ben like pre-packaged rice pouches.
Yeah.
Zatarans.
Zood, yeah.
Save your life.
Yeah.
Sure.
Talking about salt though. Yeah, that's like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Would you like to taste the South? It tastes like salt.
It turns out it tastes like sweaty fat people. Which.
Do you want to taste the South? Grab a salt lick.
Right.
Snap into a salt lick.
Snap into a salt lick. So yeah, that's probably my poor food.
Pasta rice beans, I like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you go and get crazy, you can throw some corn in there. Damn. Then you can judge how long it takes to get.
Food?
Yeah, you see how long it takes to get through your system. Exactly. You can judge your digestion.
Dear diary.
So much corn in my poop today. No, like that's another thing I was going to say is just like boxed pasta and canned tomato sauce. That will get you a long way, and it's super cheap. And one of my favorite meals through college was I would just buy the sauce and then like a loaf of French bread, and all you do is just dip the bread in the sauce, and that's a meal. Like it's fine. You eat like a third of the loaf of bread and just dip it in sauce, and you're good. And that's 3 meals. That's pretty cheap because French bread's like $1, and then depending on how nice the sauce you get, like if you really spring for good sauce, it's like $3-4.
Oh man, classy.
But that's at least 3 meals, and it's awesome.
Yep.
I love it when I say something like it's awesome and then everybody goes quiet because I feel like I failed somehow. Maybe it's not that awesome. I take it back.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome.
I think when you say like it's awesome, but no one else says, all that means is we're on the same page. But as of that moment, you are the biggest fan.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
You are your own biggest fan.
I am. It's true. It's true. Let's be honest. If that wasn't true, I wouldn't have gotten far in life. Here we are.
I think I don't really have. I'm trying to think of all the times I've been like scraped for food, which was most of the time.
What's really sad though is when you get to the point where you make something because it's what you have left and it tastes like absolute dog shit, but you eat it anyway because it's all the food you have left.
Yeah, if you don't want to die.
Right.
Eat it. I once stole bananas because I didn't have money.
Have you ever made Hamburger Helper without the hamburger because you can't afford hamburger?
Yes, I have.
I have not. I've not.
Yep, I've done that.
Yep, that's when you're in a very. I've also made pastaroni without butter.
Oh man.
And I've made it without milk. Not good, but I ate it. I soldiered through because I was hungry as hell.
Sometimes I'll make one of those like. Have you ever seen those condensed sandwiches where you'll make like a ton of layers and then wrap it up and like stack books on it?
I've seen like instructions online, but I've never done it or anything.
So like I'll do that the really cheap way where I'll get like, like Wonder Bread and like sliced turkey that's like you get like a pound at a time because it's from like the parts of the turkey that you don't want to be eating. And
as long as you don't know about it, it's fine.
Exactly. I mean, it's in like it's in a convenient it's like in a convenient sheet. So it's like a meat sheet. So you like get like it
looks like meat, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and it kind of tastes like meat. So like you get that. So you layer like bread, meat, cheese, bread, meat, cheese, bread, meat, cheese, and you wrap it up and you stack books on it. And like it condenses down to like this thick, and it's like the densest. It's like just like a protein bite. You just gotta get that, and you cut it up into like little squares, and you make it last like 3 days. So
right, it's like the Cliff Bar of sandwiches.
It is.
You take like a Tic Tac sandwich, and you're just like, that's my ccalorie intake for today. I'm good.
It doesn't look very big, but it's 2,000 calories of solid meat and bread.
It expands in your stomach.
Right. Oh, that's a gross thought.
Do you guys
meat log expanding in your stomach?
I never went this route with poor food, but do you guys think PB and J's are viable options?
Oh, totally.
Because jellies and preservatives, they can get a little expensive. I don't see anything behind you, John. You're good.
Did you hear that though?
I heard something.
Yeah, I'm going crazy. It's okay. It's so close. We're fine. Thanks, Anton. You're a real dick. No, I think that like jelly is something I prefer the peanut butter and honey, which is
That's
also
what I was
kind
gonna
of
say.
expensive.
Yeah.
Like
it's way cheaper though. Like honey it's a little expensive, but it goes so long.
yeah, that's true. You
Yeah.
use way less than you do of jelly. But the I think honestly the key with a good PB&J is you can't have them all the time. It's
Yeah.
one of those foods where when you eat it, what it should do is you should go, this is really good. It's been a long time since I've had a peanut butter and jelly. If what you're saying in your head is, holy shit, another peanut butter and jelly, you're going to burn yourself out on
Yeah.
that shit so quick.
That's when you hit up the hamburger helper.
yeah.
Without just the helper.
Just
Hit
the
up the
helper.
helper.
But we've all been there where we're like, it's a week till payday and we're completely broke. So you get like a loaf of bread, a jar of peanut butter, and some jelly, and you're like, I'll just have PB&J for the next week. And like 3 days, and you're like, I'm gonna kill myself. Like it's just not worth it anymore.
Yeah, it's funny how many foods you can do that with because I did like it's foods that you know that you like and like you're like I know it's not healthy but I can do it. Like I did it with Totino's pizza rolls. Where it's like, I'm
Yes.
just gonna buy the big ass bag
Yes.
of Totino's pizza rolls and just cook like a small plate of them for dinner for like a week straight. And seriously, day 2 you're like fuck this. Like I need real food.
Your body's just crying.
See,
Right.
I guess like I went like a different like tactic a little bit, whereas like instead of like resorting to like eating the same stuff, like Totino's pizza rolls for too long, I just like didn't eat, and I would like get to the point where I had like 2 days left before like my paycheck would come in, and like I would get like the dry hunger heaves.
Oh yeah.
Like you leave for work, you didn't eat all day, and like you're just like got a couple of heaves going. You're like I should probably eat tomorrow if I don't want to die.
See, Ryan, and that's why you're the skinny guy and I'm not, because I would never go without eating. I wouldn't do it.
So-
I would find a way. Life will find a way.
I feel like this is where I meet in the middle. See, I exist between you guys because I will get to the point where I'll have just enough money to buy either food or cheap beer. So what I'll do is I'll get like an 18 pack of like cheap beer, and I'll be like, I'm gonna drink my calories. And since I'm literally starving to death, I'll get drunk way faster. So I'll just get drunk, cry about my problems, go to sleep early, wake up with the worst hangover, and just repeat for 3 days.
Oh
Well, yeah,
man,
I mean, it
there's
works.
so much retweeting going on right now. We're just crying every time.
Yeah, because that sort of works. Like I would assume you don't want to go with like a Bud Light. You want
No,
something
no.
probably like as
you
thick
need,
as
you need
possible.
something that's
Get a
bubbly.
porter. Yeah.
Yeah, you want a porter, and that way you're getting some vitamins. Like I'm not trying to, like, it's true. Like you're getting like some sort of vitamins. You're getting some water, even though it's dehydrating you to the point of death. You're
Hey.
technically poisoning yourself, but you're gonna like time travel a little bit through your drunkenness. You're gonna time travel, like you're gonna take the HOV lane through some of your hunger.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that if it worked for the ancient Egyptians,
Yeah.
it'll work for me. If they can get drunk and build pyramids, I can get drunk and make it to payday.
Well,
You
so
know?
I think John just touched on like where we're all going to, which is like the ultimate like poor food, which is mother's milk. That's basically what you're talking about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You
And
want
I
to just
think
mix like beer and bread.
peanut
Oh.
butter,
Okay.
beer, peanut butter, and like a multivitamin. Blend that shit
You
up.
want multigrain bread and beer, and you just want to like mix them in a blender. Maybe some milk. I don't know. There's a recipe for mother's milk from Canton on Firefly, but yeah, that's essentially what you want. Maybe I might try that. I might try just like going off mother's milk for like 2 days.
Oh my
Obviously,
god.
the weekend. I'm not.
Right.
I have to drive for work. I can't drive drunk.
I actually just looked up. It is 2 to 3 shots of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. half
No,
cup
that's
milk.
not poor food.
Oh, I
can't-
know.
you can't
Already
be
it's
a-
too rich. But I'm just telling you, this is what it says for mother's milk. 2 to 3 shot of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey, half cup milk, half cup plain Greek yogurt, 1 banana, 2 tablespoons peanut butter, quarter cup oatmeal, honey and cinnamon to taste.
Okay, so we're gonna simplify that into poor food, and we're just gonna say order the cheapest you can find.
Beer, right?
Cinnamon, because it's gonna be a little expensive, but that should last you a while.
Right.
We'll go cinnamon. And
Banana,
oatmeal.
because you stole a banana.
And bananas are pretty cheap. Like if you don't go organic, bananas are pretty cheap. So we'll throw in bananas, and we'll also throw in oatmeal, because like one of those big things of like
Right.
Quaker Oats. that's pretty cheap too.
Quaker Oats, baby, for days. That'll last you half your lifetime.
I think we just solved. world
So Actually, this segues really well into something I didn't know I wanted to talk about, but now I want to talk about it. So we're gonna dive into. Have you heard about the Soylent project?
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'm legitimately interested, and I know this isn't a new topic. Like, this has been around for a while, but I was looking at they have an open source Soylent website, like where you can make your own. Because obviously, like the actual. Okay, so for those listening who don't know about this, Soylent is this like I think it's a Kickstarter. I want to say. Yeah, it's people, obviously. Like, not to spoil a 50-year-old movie or anything, but it's people.
Right.
But so Soylent's named after the movie, of course. But so the idea is like this guy made this perfect food. Basically, it's a drink, and it's got the exact amount of protein, fat, salt, vitamins, minerals, like everything that you need for exactly one day of nutrition. He makes into a beverage, and it's like this like thick shake, right? And he sells them, and so it's like you just sign up and you get enough to have 3 a day every day for a long period of time.
Right.
And so it's expensive. Like, it's the same you'd spend on actually eating. It's just more convenient. So for people who are looking for a more convenient option, that's available. But so the guy made this like open source part of the website where people can make their own, because you really can. If you think about, like, you buy flour or like corn masa, and cornmeal, and you can get like the vitamin supplements, and anyways, you can like buy all the bulk ingredients to make your own like Soylent products. And I've actually thought about doing this because there are times when I don't really care about eating food because I want like good flavor or whatever. Like, I can go to a restaurant when I want to get like a gourmet meal, but this could be something that you buy. You spend like $200 to buy all these ingredients, and you make these shakes, and they last like 2 or 3 months, and you spend like $150. And it's a really efficient way to like not only be healthy because you get everything you need and nothing more, but it's also super cheap and super easy. So
see, and the reason that I like it is that I'm old enough to understand and acknowledge that breakfast is really important, but I don't always have time to make a good breakfast.
Exactly.
So if I could just have a shake every morning, and I know some people do like the slim fast ones, but those always make me sick to my stomach. Like that whole expand in your stomach thing, it always makes me sick.
Shakes are fine all the time as long as you add fiber, though, or like some sort of like fiber-ish thing, because a person can't survive only on liquids.
Right.
That's not true. You can totally survive on liquids. I have done it.
Well, but I mean, like water or something.
Oh yeah.
You need like some sort of like you're talking like juiced or like blended stuff. Like, that's fine. Like, I'm just saying, you need like some flax in there, like,
Oh yeah, totally.
That sort of stuff.
Well, that's the thing is like, so like the DIY open source Soylents, they all have like cornmeal and like actual like thick powdery ingredients that you've done into shakes. And so like that adds the fiber. So you've got, it's like it's as if you took a turkey dinner and blended it. It sounds terrible, but like it's true. That's what's happening.
Like, the only thing like else we need to add to society, if that takes hold, which I hope it does, is like the one-piece silver jumpsuit.
Yeah, you need the jumpsuit and the food pill.
Yeah, you do like the sort of like Doug Funny, where you have like 7 of them in your closet, and then you're good. You just no one's wearing any like Abercrombie, Fitch, Gucci. And if your jumpsuit starts to smell, you gotta just rub a bounce sheet on it. Just bounce the smell out.
Just bounce it away. Bounce the bad thoughts away.
That's kind of funny. That's a funny sci-fi trope, is that in the future everyone wears the same thing. I wonder if that'll ever happen. I feel like it won't.
I don't know. I feel like every year we get further and further away. Like, of all of the predictions of the future, that's the least. Like, in the future, we are going to be wearing way more accessories. Everybody is going to look way weird and alien to our current eyes because clothing will have gotten so weird.
We're going to have, like, tattooed hearts on our cheeks with things encrusted in them.
Exactly.
I got Ryan hooked on reality TV now. So.
You didn't know. You didn't give me a hook.
He's hooked.
Enjoy it while I watched it.
He's lying. We're gonna stop this podcast. He's gonna go chain watch Ink Master. Just wait.
Dude, awful.
Awful. I do want to revisit something we talked about in one of the older podcasts, which was NyQuil, because the last podcast we did, I was on the verge. Well, I wasn't on the verge, but I was like starting to come down with the common cold, and I only had Dayquil, and I was like, that's not good enough because I think this cold's strong enough. It knows if it's nighttime or day. And so I went to the store.
It's sentient.
Yeah, it's become sentient.
Right.
I went to the store and they had NyQuil, but not the green classic that I've come known like that I've loved. It's my friend now.
Right, that has become the sweet brother I always wanted.
Like now it's only like that red kind, or
Yeah.
the purple thing that Anton was talking about, and you and I didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
See, I told you, man.
But they have something better. It's ZQuil.
Oh no, it doesn't do anything for you, dude. It just puts you to sleep. It's just a sleep.
But that's what I wanted.
But there's no medicine in it.
But
Listen, I'll
There's
get
10%
better
alcohol.
by sleeping for hours.
If all you want to do is pass out and not deal with the fact that you're sick, you should just go buy some like really, really cheap vodka. Like
no,
that's-
all right. So if we're gonna go that route, let's get it right. What it actually is Jägermeister and NyQuil.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what you do.
Yeah, vodka, no, because you wake up and you
Oh
just
my
feel
God.
gross. And
Somewhere
you-
a doctor is like, "Oh my God, please don't take Jägermeister and NyQuil.
Right.
Your liver, no."
Quick disclaimer for all of our young listeners: don't actually mix NyQuil and Jägermeister.
You'll die.
Unless you want to have a lot of fun.
Right.
Have you ever heard about jaundice? Because you'll get if you want to get jaundice, because that's how you get jaundice.
You and a friend mix NyQuil and Jägermeister, and then poke each other until you're not tired anymore. You'll have the most fun you've ever had in your life.
And your
You
first
ever
gay
heard of
experience.
Autism. That's how you get on.
Right.
Oh God.
But yeah, so ZQuil sort of worked. Like it didn't knock me out. I think it was pretty much on par with like taking like 3 milligrams of melatonin. But I have that at my disposal now for future cold fights.
There you go.
There you go.
Some ZQuil.
What you should have done, you should have taken Dayquil and ZQuil to make NyQuil.
Oh, that would have just been like dawn or dusk quill.
Yeah.
Dustquill.
Duskquill. God damn it.
I love it. That's the best. Patent the BitLack podcast. Trademarked. Someone call
Yep.
the patent office.
Dust quill.
Duskquill.
For when you're kind of tired, but you think you're mostly there on your own.
When you're glad the day's
Dust
done,
quill.
but you still want to enjoy a couple hours.
Yeah.
Right. Take Dustquill. There's some video games that need playing.
It's the golden
before you
hour.
retire, right? Or it's the opposite of that, and it's the medicine that you just take right at 5 o'clock. Like it's 5 o'clock somewhere, so you take your Dustquill, and then it's just like this slow descent into nothingness,
Into madness.
right? It would be great.